Hey everyone, today I'm going to walk you through the ICC 10-man achievement required for the Glory of the Icecrown Raider meta achievement that rewards the Bloodbathed Frostbrood Vanquisher mount. First up is the Boned achievement for Lord Marrowgar. This one is really easy, just kill bone spikes as soon as they spawn. As long as no bone spike lives for 8 seconds, you'll get the achievement. This one can easily be done on Heroic. The next one is Full House for Lady Deathwhisper. This one is a little bit more involved. For this, you need to end the fight with 5 different types of adds alive. I recommend having 1 tank in charge of kiting the adds the entire fight, and 1 to 2 tanks on Lady Deathwhisper for phase 2. In phase 1, you'll need to wait until you have a deformed fanatic, reanimated fanatic, and reanimated adherent. Once you have one of each of these types of adds, you can push to phase 2. Make sure you kill any adds you don't need. In phase 2, you'll just need to get a normal adherent and fanatic, and then you can kill Lady Deathwhisper. We did this one on Heroic, but it would be a lot easier on normal if you're having issues. Next up is I'm on a boat for Gunship. As far as I know, this is just automatically given every time you complete this fight, so there's not much to say here. You should just get it for free. Next is the Sourfang achievement, I've Gone and Made a Mess. This one requires you to kill Sourfang before 3 marks go out, so it's mostly just about killing him quickly. You can make marks go out slower through various means, such as using Hand of Protection on people with boiling blood to slow down his blood power gain. It's also really important that you don't let Blood Beast hit anybody. This is an easy one to do on Heroic, but you can do it on normal if you're having any problems. Next is Dances with Oozes on Rot Phase. For this, you just can't let a big ooze cast Unstable Ooze Explosion, which is done when a big ooze reaches 5 stacks by having oozes combine with it. There are a number of ways to do this. The way we did it was we just had people sit still and tank their small ooze. Eventually, the same person will get a second infection and spawn a big ooze, at which point a designated kiter can kite the big ooze, but they need to try to keep it away from small oozes. You should have other kiters ready to pick up big oozes and kite them as they become active. You can also combine big oozes together as long as it won't cause one of them to reach 5 stacks. This one isn't too tough to do on Heroic. Next is Flu Shot Shortage for Festergut. You can't let anyone in the raid get more than 2 stacks of the Spore debuff. To do this, the 2 people who get the first Spore should stay away from everyone else. For the second Spore, everyone except the 2 people who were picked for the first Spore should stack to get a debuff. On the third Spore, anyone with less than 2 stacks should stack to get a Spore debuff. When Pungent Blight goes out, just use Divine Sacrifice, and anyone with an immunity or personal damage reduction should use them. People with immunities also don't need to stack for any of the spores. You should only do Pungent Blight once, so you likely don't need to worry about any more spores. However, if damage is lacking and you are going to get a second Pungent Blight, just repeat the process again. This one is pretty easy to do on Heroic. Next is Nausea, Heartburn, Indigestion for Professor Putricide. This one requires you to never use the Regurgitated Ooze ability that slows slimes. You just need to make sure to kill oozes ASAP and kite red ooze as well. Nitro boots are really useful for avoiding the red oozes. We've done this one on Heroic a couple times pretty easily, but you can do it on normal to make it significantly easier if you have any issues. Next up is the Orb Whisperer on Blood Council. To complete this, nobody in the raid can take more than 23,000 spell damage in a single hit. This basically means the Keleseth tank needs to have plenty of Dark Nuclei to reduce damage of Keleseth's Shadow Bolts when he's empowered, which should already be happening. And the empowered Flame Orb on Taldaram needs to be diminished by having people stand in its path to soak some of the damage, which also should already be happening. Basically, this achievement is just given for doing all the mechanics in the fight correctly. I've done this one on Heroic a couple times, but it's definitely much easier on normal. Next is Once Bitten, Twice Shy for Blood Queen Lanathel. This one must be completed over 2 separate raids. You need to kill her 1 time while you have the Essence of the Blood Queen debuff from getting bitten, and kill her another time without ever getting the Essence of the Blood Queen debuff. Just figure out with your raid ahead of time who needs to get bitten and who doesn't. This is an easy achievement to do on Heroic unless all of your DPS cannot be bitten. Next up is Portal Jockey for Velithria. This one requires every portal to be used each time they spawn. 3 portals will spawn and you just need either 2 healers and 1 DPS or 3 healers to go in, depending on your comp. This achievement does not require you to personally enter each portal yourself. Just every portal that spawns, you need someone in the raid to enter, and at the end, the entire raid will get the achievement. We did this one on Heroic pretty easily. Next, we've got All You Can Eat on Syndragosa. This one requires that nobody in the raid gets more than 5 stacks of Mystic Buffet. This is the stacking magic damage taken debuff in the final phase. Everyone just needs to make sure they hide behind the Frost Tombs early to reset their stacks. Tanks should swap immediately every time they've reset their stacks, and prepare to use nitros if necessary. We did this one on normal. The last achievement is been waiting a long time for this on Lich King. This requires you to get the Necrotic Plague debuff up to 30 stacks. In case you don't know how Necrotic Plague works, it gains a stack every time it jumps targets, either by killing the target or when its 15-second duration expires. When Necrotic Plague is cleansed, it will jump but lose a stack. To do this achievement, we fizzled the first Necrotic Plague by cleansing it away from players and ads to give ads more time to spawn before the plague got too crazy. We stopped damage on Lich King and just waited for lots of ads to spawn. Once you've gotten your 30 stack, just let it finish off the ads and fizzle it. Now you just need to finish the fight and you'll get the achievement. We did this one on normal. Hopefully this video helps you get your Blood-Bathed Frostbrood Vanquisher. The achievements really aren't too tough to do, so you should be able to knock them out pretty quick if everyone is on board. Thanks for watching, enjoy your mount, and I'll see you in the next one.